This is the magicwordpodcast.com.
We are here now on the third day. I say third day because I count Sunday as being the first day, although that was the first official day, because that was when the dealers opened. And we had the zombie party, and you heard all of that in yesterday's report. But I am starting off the day with a great breakfast with a great friend, and that's Matthew Alexander, and he's here with me now. Hey, Matt, how are you, sir?
Good morning. I'm doing great. Good to be with you.
And you are enjoying this convention. You come to these every year. Have you missed one yet? Or?
I have been to every one for the last 9 years, but I was a little bit of a latecomer. I didn't start in the beginning, but I won't miss it now.
Trying to get caught up.
Yeah, absolutely.
Basically. So, did you come early enough to go to the movie to see the Stealing Magic?
I did.
And?
Oh, I thought it was fantastic. Just super interesting. I remember when Andy first talked about what he was doing to try to track down the pirates, and I just thought it was fascinating. And then when it became a documentary, I was really hoping to see it. I didn't get one of the guaranteed tickets, but I got in the standby line early enough that I was able to get in and watch.
See the early show, or there were two different screenings?
I saw the second show, the later show, yeah. So it was very enjoyable. I think if anybody's interested in the magic world, I think it's a great, fascinating story.
Someone asked me recently also about if that's going to be available to the magic world anytime soon, and the answer is probably not soon, because from what they told me was they're going to be taking this, well, I think they told the group basically, they're going to be taking this around all these film festivals, Sundance, et cetera, and kind of see what they can win, and then kind of go from there. Once that they've got something they can advertise saying winner of this film festival or whatever, then they'll probably have it available.
Yeah, that's correct. They said the same thing in our session, and I'm fortunate to have kind of dabbled in that world. I had a dear friend, unfortunately, who's passed, but he was a filmmaker, and my wife and I contributed to one of his projects. And so the way these work is these guys, the filmmakers, independent filmmakers, go around and do all of this promotional work, go to all these film festivals with the hopes of somebody really liking it, seeing it, and picking it up for some sort of a distribution deal.
Right.
And
right.
So hopefully that'll come about soon, but the film festival circuit's still going on, so they've got plenty of work ahead of them.
They do. Now, as far as the dealer's room goes, we were talking about that briefly, and there was something that you wanted to get, but then it's kind of like, I'm not sure if I wanted that or not. That was the John Miranda bottle. So tell a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's a object in impossible location device. It's a method for getting something into a what appears to be a sealed beer bottle, and I'm sure it works with other types of glass. But I immediately thought of at least a couple of ideas that would be great for. But I'm a hobbyist. I'm not a professional magician, and the price tag is $2,000. It looks like it's probably worth it. Really impressive output. I certainly couldn't see how things were rejoined.
Right.
But as a hobbyist, if I came back with a $2,000 magic item, my wife would have me sleeping on the couch for a year.
Me or that?
Yes. Yep. So, but
that was the coolest thing you saw in there so far?
I think that's probably my favorite so far.
What did you actually buy?
You know what? So far, I've been really good. I did buy an Anverdi book that is out of print. I found one of the dealers in the back had a few, and I thought it was very reasonably priced compared to what I've seen in the past. So I grabbed that. I didn't buy, but I chatted with. I was really glad to see Mark Mason back with a whole ton of his coins. And last year, I know he had a rough experience when he had his items stolen. So I'm glad he's he's back in force, and it looks like he's having a really good convention. So it's fun to talk to him as well.
And what did you dress up as a zombie? Did you do anything on the party or no?
I did not this year. Last year I dressed up, but this year I just didn't have the time.
Yeah. And then as far as yesterday's morning session and then the focus groups, let's talk a little bit about the morning session because you and I were in the same thing. What did you get out of that?
Yeah, you know what? I think my two favorite were Joshua Jay's presentation. I love photography. I'm not a great photographer, but I appreciate the art form. I just thought those images had so much impact, and I'm definitely going to be picking up that book. I really enjoyed Jamie Allen's presentation as well.
Oh, yeah.
So, yep.
On how to book a theater.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a really good idea to kind of encourage you that even though you've got things that don't work,
yep,
start all over again.
Yeah. His lather, rinse, and repeat cycle. I thought was a really interesting story, and for those of you out in the listening world that are professionals, it's the business part of it. It's not just the act. You've got to do the marketing. There's a lot that goes into it, and I would say opportunities like Magic Live conventions are a great chance to learn from others' mistakes, so you don't have to reinvent the wheel.
Well, yesterday, then afternoon, you and I had attended. We get 2 out of the 3 different focus sessions, and we both saw the one fella, which was
Lloyd Barnes.
That's
yep.
right, very creative. But then I saw Jozo Bozo, but you went to the other one. Too Strange.
Too Strange.
What about that?
He's a Taiwanese magician. Great presence, great sense of humor. Really enjoyed his work. It was a fun afternoon. It made me smile. And
was it comedy, mentalism, close-up?
Yeah, it was close-up card work, okay. But he has a very engaging presence, and just was very amusing. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And then last evening, the evening comedy show, they kind of repeated that a couple of times then too.
Yep.
That was hosted by Harrison Greenbaum. And so you want to talk a little bit about some of the acts that were in the show?
Yeah, so Harrison, I thought was hilarious.
Yeah.
Edgy at times.
That's Harrison.
Yep. But very entertaining. But I thought all the acts were great. And I never know how to pronounce his name. The first act.
Artem Shukin.
Artem Shukin.
He had that's a new act that he's been working on for a long time.
Yep.
And it's getting tighter and more funny.
I've seen elements of it before.
Yeah.
But I really enjoyed that. There was a fabulous German magician woman came out, and you and I were talking. The way that she came out in the outfit that she was wearing, we were both expecting like a quick change.
Exactly.
And it was not a quick change. It was really interesting. Yeah, she did a lot of things I'd never seen before. Made it look like she had more than 2 arms. And did a lot of manipulation work, and it was very entertaining. The whole night, I really enjoyed the whole night.
And then there was another fellow, I can't remember his name, but who was a juggler.
Yes.
And I saw him at Randy Pitchford's Peacock Theater some years ago, and when he came out, it's like, oh my gosh, I love this guy. I've never seen him before or since that particular performance. And apparently he's quite well known, and he's got a lot of TikTok, and during COVID, I guess, he had a lot of videos he was doing every day. He was juggling things. But when he starts to put that hamburger on the top of an umbrella, and they said, first of all, the pickles are coming out, and then the cheese is coming off, and then the burger, and then just wow.
And the devil sticks routine with the tennis racket.
Yeah.
Never seen before. And the visual element of the racket head just kind of staying, floating in space as the handle's going back and forth. really clever, really talented. I'm guessing really hard. I loved his whole bit, and the giant tennis racket he did at the end, and
when he did the giant tennis racket, Gene Protus, a buddy of mine, was sitting next to me, and he said, I think that's attached to his body. That can't be real. I said, no, he's really doing that.
Yeah.
And I thought it was funny because then as you kind of got close to the audience, it looks like it's 3D, doesn't it? Because it got bigger, but it's big to begin with. It is just a funny bit. So a very funny guy.
Yeah, it was really entertaining. And like you were saying with the hamburger, I thought he was joking about pickles, being spun off. And sure enough, as he's going, the hamburger's going around, and you could see pickles start to fly off of it.
When I saw him, again, at the Peacock Theater, with Dal Sanders, who's sitting right over there, by the way, then too, Dal and I were talking about this. He told him beforehand, he said, first of all, the pickles are going to come off, then the cheese is going to come off, and then the burger's going to come out, and then, the rest. This time, really, just the pickles came out. So I don't know whether he's refining it. I think it's better if you got more stuff coming out of it. But anyhow, I thought it was phenomenal. Very funny, very funny. So that was the evening show, and then I went to the close-up show, which we can talk about now, because by the time that this is posted, people will have seen this.
Right.
Did you see the close-up last night?
I haven't, but I'll pretend that I don't hear what you're saying.
Oh, shoot.
That's okay. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I don't want to.
You don't want to spoil it? Okay.
I'll talk with someone else later about this during the day, but it was, as always.
Yeah.
And this was completely different than what I was expecting, and I think most other people too. That's why I don't want to spoil it for you.
I appreciate that very much so.
It was awesome. And then here we are then today.
Yep.
And who's on the general session here this morning? Do you have that listed?
Don't. Yeah, it's not listed. It just says general session. So we'll find out. It actually is in the booklet that we got, but I don't remember.
Right.
So. And I didn't do the close-up, but I went to Danny D'Artis. And
I haven't seen Danny yet. So how was his show?
Yeah, I won't spoil anything for you, although honestly I don't think I could, because the way he works, it's going to be different.
No two shows alike.
It was an evening of a room full of magicians saying, looking up, and all at once everyone thinking, you could see the expression on their face. How the F did he do that?
Yeah.
I left thinking, if this was the only thing that I went to at Magic Live, it would have been worth it for me. I enjoyed it that much.
Wow, that was a highlight for you so far.
So far, yeah. It's probably one of my Magic Live history highlights. It was. I love his work, and he just was on fire last night, and I hope that continues for the rest of his performances. So
probably will. I mean, it's just his style.
It is. Just amazing. So
yeah. Well, Matthew, thank you very much. Always good chance to catch up, and thanks for the feedback.
Well, it's great to see you. I look forward to this. I was really appreciative of the fact that you remembered before I did and reached out to me. So, and you can feel free to edit this out, but if it's okay, I'd like to plug a couple of things.
Sure.
The theme this year is intersections.
Correct.
And so one of the things that has been really great for me to see is an intersection between the magic world, and I'm a dog lover. And I ran into Jason England, and I have participated in some of the events that he and his brother have done through their Jack of Hearts Foundation, which is a dog rescue organization that they have based here in Las Vegas. And so it's a 401c3, and I really like the intersection between two passions, magic and animals. And so for those of you out in the listening audience that love both of those, I would encourage you to check out the jackofheartsfoundation.org. And the other thing that I want to plug is actually you, Scott. I not only do I look forward to having these conversations, meeting up with you at any of the events, but for those of you that also appreciate it, become a supporter. I love having breakfast, taking Scott out to breakfast, but I'm also a Patreon supporter. I've done $5 a year or $5 a month for several years. It's not a lot. It's less than a cup of coffee, and it allows Scott to come to events like these, to have good equipment so that you can hear what we're saying, to do editing, I think you should support the things you love. So if you're not already a monetary supporter of the Magic Word Podcast, please consider doing so.
I couldn't have said it better. But thanks for reading that so well, too.
He did not put me up to this.
Surprised. Thank you, Matt. I appreciate that.
My pleasure.
I
Thank
enjoy
you
our
for
friendship, too, and thanks for listening, and thanks for your being a friend of the Magic Word.
My pleasure. I enjoy every moment we get to spend together, and I love listening to the Magic Word Podcast when I'm out and about. It's always entertaining, and
I was surprised last evening whenever I saw David Copperfield. It was late in the evening, and I was kind of walking through the lobby with Chris Kinner, and we chatted. I didn't record anything with David, but he was saying, I've been listening to your podcast.
That's great.
So I'm telling you, you're in good company if you listen to the podcast, too.
Absolutely.
So for the Magic Word Podcast, that was Matthew Alexander. Thanks, Matt. This is Scotty out. So I'm in the bicycle lounge right now, the bicycle card lounge, and someone who has come to Magic Live just to hang out and session, and that is Howard Hamburg, a good friend of all of ours, and I am so thankful that he is my friend, and he calls me his friend. And so he is someone who has not only all the performing chops, but also is the real touchstone to history, having been with Vernon and Larry Jennings and Charlie Miller and all those guys. And he was about to tell a story. Hello, Howard, first of all. Hello.
Hi, Scott. How are you, buddy?
Fantastic. And so tell me, you were about to say something about Larry, I think, and the rest of everybody hanging out.
Yeah, well, Larry would come over to the professor, and I'm sitting in on one of the settees in the Vernon corner. And he says, Professor, I got this new move I'd like to show you. And he does this pass, and I'm below Larry's hand, and I didn't see a particle of dust coming off. I mean, it was just incredible.
Yeah.
And Larry said to the professor, he said, well, what'd you think? And Vernon would look at him and say, Bruce Savant showed me that last week with 2 less moves. But he would always pit those people against each other. It was really fun. Though I will tell you, if you have time, I'll tell you this story. So I'm sitting with the professor, we're talking, and the host comes over and says that the fellow's going to be working the close-up room would love to have you as his guest. Well, we normally wouldn't do that, but we're sort of caught, And so, we just nodded, and that was it. Well, the people are already going into the close-up room. The host forgot about us. And now he sees the professor and I sitting there, and he says, right this way. And we went through the exit door. And the only 2 seats were the front row, 1.5 feet from the table, in the center.
In the center.
No one would take those seats, They're apprehensive. So we sat there, and they announced the fellow. He comes out, and he fell apart.
When he saw you guys sitting there.
He saw Vernon, and he was shaking, and he couldn't do anything. Afterwards, Professor and I are sitting at the table, and Servanas joined us. And the guy comes out and says the worst question he could say. He said, I saw you and Professor and you, Mr. Hamburg, sitting there. Do you have any comments? Now, Vernon would always pass it to someone else. He'd never get involved with that. But he says, you really want an honest answer here, don't you? He said, absolutely. He said, give up magic. It's not what you really want to do. Get rid of your books and your props. You're a young guy. I bet you'd be selling good men's clothes or maybe cars. No, this is exactly what he said.
Wow.
You'd be a good car salesman maybe, or sell men's clothes. And the guy, you could see a tear coming out of his left. I mean, he just ripped this guy's heart out. And I'm looking at Bruce, and Bruce is looking at me, and I said, oh, my God, I felt so bad. And the guy said, "Thank you, sir," and he walked away. We didn't even see his head. It was bowed so low, and all we saw were shoulders going up the stairs. And I swear to you, Vernon turned to Servan and I, and he said, "How do you like that? He can't take constructive criticism." Vernon didn't say it as a joke. That's how.
Yeah,
That's
right.
how.
It's just very matter of fact and very frank. It's like, hey,
He was a character. But like I say, we were just discussing. I mean, he's been gone 34 years. It's hard to believe that.
Yeah, you said 92 was
He
when
was
he passed.
in 1992. He was 98 years old. Yeah, and he passed away. He drank Johnny Walker Black every evening. He
Straight, or did he drink it with any
no,
mixture?
straight, and he smoked cigars. And I will tell you an interesting story. Bill Larson, they would close the Magic Castle on Fridays at about 2 o'clock so they could vacuum the place for nighttime, right? Well, they would close the place to the public, but Bill would have a few of his friends sit at the main bar. We could pour our own drinks. The staffs were off. There was nobody there. So Vernon would always sit in the corner near the stairs at the main bar.
Right.
And there was myself and Max Maven and Ray Grismer. And once in a while, Larry would come in, Mickey O'Malley, Don Lawton. Those guys, we would sit at the bar. We'd go behind the bar, pour our own drinks, and Vernon would drink his Johnny Walker Black. And I'm talking with Max, and all of a sudden we hear the professor say, "I never miss, I never miss." And we don't pay attention to him. We're just having a conversation. He said it again, "I never miss." And out of respect, I said, "What are you talking about, Professor?" He said, "Go ahead, select a card." Now, he's pretty wasted. I mean, he was pretty wasted. And I selected a card. I showed everyone the 4 of hearts, and it went back in the deck. And he's holding the deck at eye level, doing a pinky count. He says, "Give me a number between 5 and 15. I said, 7. 7, what? He's doing and he takes the card and he does an overhand shuffle and he says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And he said, "What was your card?" He said, "The 4 hearts." And he reveals it. He says, "I never miss." Well, I said to the professor, "Well, if you miss, will you go to dinner with us, with Ray and I tonight? I want to go to dinner with the guy." It's a no-win bet for me. And I said, "I never miss. Go ahead and select a card." Now, I swear to God, I'm not making this up. This is really a true story. And I looked, and it was the 7 of clubs. And I showed everybody the 7 of clubs.
Right.
And it went back in the deck. He says, "Give me a number." I said, "Well, make it 9. "What? Well, make it 9. He's running the scale. And he goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and he's got the card face down. And he says, "What was the name of the card?" I said, "The Queen of Diamonds," because I want to go to dinner with him.
That wasn't you just making up a card?
I made up a different card. Everyone saw the 7 of clubs. And he turned it over. He missed the damn trick, and it was the Queen of Diamonds. He missed the trick on my miscalled card. And we're all sitting there with our mouths open, and I'm not going to tell him I miscalled a card on him. I'm going to lose a friend. And he walked up the stairs, and all we heard was, "I never miss, I never..." But of all the cards for him to screw the trick up, it was on the miscalled card.
I've never heard that story.
Oh, it was wonderful. Yeah.
Well, thanks, Howard. Appreciate it. I mean, I know we've talked before, and you've got a million stories, and you've shared them a lot, and I thank you. I know you come to the Magic Live in the past, and you have been in some of the sessions and everything. Have you got some favorite memory of Magic Live that you remember from the past?
Yeah, I do. There's in 1982, the professor asked me how I define magic, and it's ironic because in 1980, my good friend Francis Carlisle asked me the same question, and I said to the professor, I said, I don't define magic as the effect. The effect does not define magic. How I define magic is friendships and memories.
Right.
That is what keeps me going in magic. And so when you ask me about what what like Magic Live and Magi Fest and the Scoriel and Fectors, and what do they mean to me? It's the memories and the friendships, and I think that's kept me going.
Right.
To be honest with you, it's as Vernon always said, it's never the effect; it's the journey to it.
That's true.
It's never the effect; it's the journey to it. And my journey is the friendships and memories I made, such as yourself. I appreciate that you're part of my friendships and memories. That means a lot to me, Scott.
Thank you. And same with me. And I appreciate our friendship.
Vernon had a lot of things that he would say that I just keep on remembering. I try to share it with the younger generation. Great magic is simple. Simple magic is great. Confusion is not magic. Many magicians stop thinking too early. It's amazing all the little things he would say.
Right.
That keeps me thinking. Like I never say to a person, "Where am I placing the card?" if I'm putting it in the middle. I don't say that. I ask them, "Where am I putting it?" Because they remember that they said it, not me. And those were things that Vernon always said. And Vernon would always say, "Never say take a card." He was vehemently against it. I remember once he yelled at Michael Skinner when Skinner spread the cards, "Go take a card." And I said to the professor, "Why?" And he said, "Well, think about it. Take means I'm giving you something. You have to use the word select. It means freedom. It means a free selection. You say take a card, it means I'm giving you something."
Right.
And so little things like that.
Yeah, little nuances and subtleties.
Can I share a little story about something
sure.
that turned my thinking of magic completely around? It's true. I went in and I saw at the close-up room a fellow doing a sponge ball routine. He had 2 sponge balls on the table, a lady sitting to his left. He picked up one sponge ball, put it in her hand, told her to hold on to it, and the other one he said he put in his pocket. And you've heard this a million times. How many sponge balls in your hand? And she replied, 1. Open your hand, there were 2. I thought people should stand up and give a standing ovation of what I just saw and just go crazy, because that's a miracle, what we just saw. But there was accolades, there was clapping, there was some oohs, but it didn't get the bang for the buck that I really thought it deserved.
Sure.
I went back to the table, and Charlie Miller was sitting there with the professor, and I told him a story. And he says, the magician didn't finish the sentence. I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Well, I put one in your hand and the other one in my pocket. How many sponge balls in your hand?" She says, 1. Open your hand. 2. Gotcha.
Good point. Yeah.
Well,
I'm cool, you're a fool.
You make the person look foolish.
Right.
Well, you make the person sitting there representing the audience foolish. The audience is not going to respect you in that the way it should be. I said, "Is there an answer?" And he turned to Charlie. He says, "Charlie and I talked about this 35 years ago, Howard, and you're the only one that came up with ever asked us." He says, "It's true about a card on the table face down, silver, copper, transpositions, sponge balls, anything. I place a sponge ball in your hand and the other one goes in my pocket. How many sponge balls should there be in your hand? Should there be, not are there." Well, the should would be 1, and when she opens her hand, there's 2. You get 100% more ovation because you haven't offended the person, making them look like a fool.
That's a subtle difference, certainly, right there. And I would encourage people who are listening then to this to experiment and try that. If they're working in a restaurant or a cocktail party, try both ways and just prove that that's correct. But I'm absolutely sure that you're right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was,
of course.
Not what card is that face down or what should that card be.
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to let you go. And thank you very much.
You're
Always
more
good seeing
welcome,
you.
my friend.
So, for the Magic Word Podcast. That was Howard Hamburg. Scotty out. This morning we had the general session. We've talked with a few people here already about yesterday's show, and of course with Howard Hamburg right now about nothing to do with the convention really, but I wanted to talk with someone who actually saw the morning general session, and that's my buddy Stephen Bergazzi. Hello, Stephen.
Hi, man. Scott. Oh, it's great. Great to be with you. And
And all these people.
And Magic Live. How much better
1,600
is
of your
that?
closest friends.
That's right. That's right.
right.
And you only see 800 of them, but it's all right.
That's true, because we're wearing one color badge.
That's right.
And it's kind of like Wednesday night, we'll see everybody. Said, how long you been here?
Yeah. Where have you been?
Where have you been? We're traveling in different circles, quite literally.
But we saw the right. We're both yellow, so we saw the same tone.
Yes, we did. So I wanted to ask you about that in this morning show, which was emceed by
Pat Hazel.
my friend Pat Hazel. I've known him since he was in high school. And anyhow, yeah.
Are you as old as Pat Hazel?
Yeah. When he was showing those pictures, like, I remember that picture.
Yeah.
And he gave me some of those promo pictures I had hanging on my wall of his early ones, you know, the top hat. And all that. Anyhow, funny. So, yes, he hosted that, and very funny guy. And for those of you who don't know Pat Hazel, he was a writer for Seinfeld as well as others. And very funny guy.
After 6 shows, he left Seinfeld to make his own sitcom.
Yeah.
And it didn't go through, and now nobody knows who Pat Hazel is.
Yeah.
If he'd have just hung in there
a little bit longer,
we wouldn't be friends with you.
And so I'm trying to think of the rest of the people who were on there. I know we had Paul Gertner, who talk about contexture, context, and the important. Go ahead.
No, I mean, it was all great. Pat did fantastic. The way he opened it, and the way he talked, the way he connected it, played that little game with the people in the crowd, that was very funny and made us all part of it.
Right.
So I thought that set the mood for what we were watching and what we were seeing. And then it was Gertner next, I think, right?
I think so.
That came in there and did it, and Paul does an excellent job. You know, he took us into, he didn't do his whole show, but he did the beginnings and the end, and how he closed with the story and how he connected it to his life and all of that. Fantastic.
And that was what this whole convention is about, really, is
right.
Connections and intersections. And that was how, you're right, how you connect with the audience. And that was what Pat was doing to begin with, was connecting. And
it was amazing because Paul talked about, and it's such a great point, how he was doing the show. It's the same show, but he wasn't making the connections. Mm-hmm. And then when he connected it to his family and to his father, and then he ended it with the same, that it just took the show to his show.
People can relate a lot more, you know.
Correct.
I mean, obviously, you know, the Nature Son people know that, and so you don't have to say too much about him at this point. But when he wasn't somebody, I'm sure that you still talked about him.
Yeah, but you know what? Nate's whole success is about connection. All of his stories are relatable. I mean, he seems like a guy. He seems like a guy that you go, that's a guy can hang out, and you go, yeah, we've done that. I've done that. I can't believe you've lived all those situations he's lived.
Relate to that. We
all have parents that fall down dumb like I was and do stuff, and so that's the thing about Nate. People, if they realize it or not, 99% of the stories he's telling is truth. I always think, you're not that funny. You're just telling what we do.
I think one of the funniest stories that he told that's in his book was about the one in which you guys were waiting in line to see the Disney princesses, and then you got in line, and then you realized, we got to go now.
I didn't tell them. I left them all in there. It turned out to be, we got tickets from a Make-A-Wish kid.
Yeah.
And they was wondering why they was being so nice to us and stuff. And I just kind of went, I'm out. I just left.
Didn't realize they were only for cancer kids. It wasn't for your kids.
No, but they thought all my kids, they go, they're doing so well. Oh, gosh.
Anyhow, I just thought that was a hilarious story. But back on there. So Paul did a great job. I'm trying to think then who talked then next.
Now you're killing me.
Man, we're kind of forgetting about. I know it's important. Let me just say that it concluded with something I thought was fantastic, and that has to do with the Johnny Carson thing. When they brought out everybody who had been on there, like with Paul Gertner, it's Mike Amar. Mike Amar.
Oh, Mike Amar. That's right. Yeah.
And also, here we go, Lance Burton and Alex Boyce.
That's right.
Because back in 25 years ago, that Lance did a one-on-one with Channing Pollock, and so now Alex is talking with Lance Burton.
Right. Kind of. Yeah, just showed that mentor and everything, how they reconnected that, and it was an awesome moment there.
Yeah.
But you're right, the ending of the whole show was the most fantastic part.
Mm-hmm.
I wish we'd had more time almost for that. I'd like to heard a little more from Lance and Michael, their experience and stuff like that, though. But it gave all of them a great chance to just something.
I think it was interesting also because I know a lot of people who
you do talk shows. I've seen you do.
What's that?
I've seen you do talk shows. You used to do those for the thing. So you should really relate to all that.
I do, and I loved all that. I like, and I actually had sent a videotape to Johnny Carson.
Oh, you did.
I was, when he said, we receive thousands a week. It's like, yeah, well, mine was one of those thousands. I got a rejection letter.
You should have sent the directions on how it was done.
Yeah. Now I know the secret. A little bit late. Thanks, Paul.
Now nobody else knows, but that's how Paul was like you. He said that he sent a bunch of them out there, and it was his wife that said, "You're just 1 in 1,000. You don't need that." He wants to be a magician. So Paul actually explained what he was doing, and that was the key that got him on.
Right. Said everybody wants to be on, but, what is it that Johnny wants? And what I like about that is the takeaway is about your client. When you are booking a show or something, what is it they want? So in other words, they don't want to see a picture of you fanning a deck of cards or whatever. They want to see you engaging an audience and the laughter that they're having and everything. And, what you can do for them is to create moments that they will remember to make them look like a hero.
That's right. And I've done some television and doing more and more lately because of my special came out. I've been going on some
Congratulations on that, by the way.
Well, thanks.
Which people can watch on YouTube.
That's right. And but somebody told me a long time ago, don't try to fool the cameraman and the people in the thing when you're going to tell them everything that's going on, and then they will be your best friends.
I learned that the hard way myself.
Yeah. Oh, did you?
When I was living in Midland back in the early 80s, and I was doing something on a morning talk show, and I was doing cups and balls, and the cameraman was on my hands. Now, the lady who was the host was laughing and having a great time, and I had misdirected her perfectly, but I couldn't misdirect the camera. I didn't know that they were keeping a single shot. They saw every load. It was an instructional video is what it was. Live and learn,
That's right. So it's all the little things. And that's what we were learning about the Johnny and stuff. And to hear those stories was fantastic. And I thought, what a special moment for Lance to get to hear Dick Cavett and them talk about him.
Yeah, after he had left the stage.
Yes.
And he was back, kind of sweating until it's all over now. But that's that last thing he's thinking of.
Yeah, that's something worth looking up if you're a magician. Look up and find that conversation after Lance, his first.
I don't know if that's available. That was what he was saying was part of their archives, and that was not something that you can find online.
Yeah, well, y'all got to come live if you want to see that stuff.
That's my whole point. You got to come to Magic Live, I think. Now, you've been coming for a long number of years. Is there a memory that you have from any of the previous years or some sort of a speaker or something that...
I don't know. I mean, today in the close-up and the shows here, you just see so... Guy Hollingsworth, by far, was something that you'll never forget. I'm trying to think, the guy from Texas, the trade show got Tim Conover.
Yeah.
And remember when we went in that room and he was up in the booth doing that? And that was just like, wow, unbelievable and stuff. Those are probably two of the top things that I just remember, seeing guys doing their work in their own way.
Right. One thing, by the way, that I haven't talked about, I didn't talk about yesterday, but I can talk about then, we can talk about now, because this won't be broadcast until tomorrow, and that is the close-up show. They had said, to keep that kind of on the download. Have you seen the close-up show?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so we can talk about that. And I was given goosebumps, whenever
I did too.
Because I've sat in the chair and Dean Dill has cut my hair.
Yeah.
And they just reproduced basically the Dean Dill Magic Shop.
Right.
And so it was just
it was fun. And, I remember all that, him showing me all that. I saw Blizzard there for the first time, and before it was really out, he was doing it. And it was really fun. I went with somebody else, Dick Staub, and so we went down there and did it. And Dick got a haircut, and I had just got a haircut at home. So I go, I don't want to get a haircut, but I go, you just trim around my ear or something like that, do something so he can get some pictures and all that. So he just literally cut barely around my ear. I had paid the same price as Dick did. He charged me $30. I just wanted a picture.
Well, what I remember was,
but he was a great guy.
And going in there, it was one of the, like I said, when people come to the Magic Castle, it's like you got to go to Dean's, and so I did. So I said, and so I went down, and I remember not only getting my haircut, but also that not Phil Wilmarth. Just a second, Pete Pete Byro was there, and some other guys. And that was around the time that John Armstrong had his mini plungers that he was doing.
Yeah.
And he said, I just found these things, online. You can buy them for like $1 a piece. And he had a sack of them. He was handing them out to everybody,
That's exactly what happened at Dean. I had an old trick that was a trap door, and a lot of people do something for nothing. It was a little card trick. Steve Bean published the thing. But I got to show him that, and that kind of made me in that club. Where Dean would run, wow, having him say, wow, this is great, I love it, and he wanted a copy of it. I doubt he ever did it.
I am sure I showed him a trick, and the reason I say that is because he asked me for my promo photos, which he hung on the wall, I think, for a while there, so they had it amongst all the rest of everybody else's, that was there, but I'm just kind of proud to have been there. Anyhow, my point is, that was really good because it was completely different. It was hosted by Michael Caveney.
You asked a memory, that will be one for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that we just made. That'll be something we'll
And
never
that chair
forget.
was the one that he actually used because it's from Copperfield's collection. They got the original sign that was inside and all that then too. So
it's really neat. I don't know if people know, but like Copperfield's walking around everywhere. I've already ran into him about 8 times.
Yeah.
And so it must be nice to be out of work. He seems relaxed and stuff.
He does.
It's just really funny.
More laid back.
Yeah, but it's
I wonder when he gives tours that he doesn't have to wait until after midnight now.
I know.
He can kind of get a little sleep.
Yeah. He needs some sleep. Bless his heart.
Yeah. Well, Stephen, thanks very much. Always good seeing you. And again, good luck with getting more views. I think people need to go to YouTube.
Yeah, it's called Out in a Minute.
Yeah,
I'll be out in a minute. Steve Barry on the Nate Land production, but just go to YouTube. You can find it.
Talking to Tom Vorgia, and he said he was the one that came up with that title when you guys were thinking about it.
Tom thinks he comes up with everything. we were going through the whole... we were going through the different things. What was the original one? I'll be out in a minute. Oh, For Your Pleasure, because always I'm doing this for your pleasure. But that could sound sexual. Yeah. And Tom was going, we could do that. And he goes, you do that out in a minute a lot. And I went, okay.
That's it.
That's it. I like it.
Yeah.
So I'll give him Tom Borgnine credit for that.
All righty then. So for the Magic Word Podcast, that was Stephen Bogazzi. Scotty out. I mentioned earlier there when we were just talking with Stephen Bogazzi about this morning's morning session, and one of the people who was in the session was Alex Boyce, who was talking with Lance Burton and actually reprising something that Lance had done with Channing Pollock 25 years ago, and I've got Alex with me right now. Hello, Alex.
Hey, Scott.
As
Happy
always.
Magic Live. Glad to be here.
Are you going to be going to Abbott's from here?
Not this year. Are you going to Abbott's?
I am. I'm crazy. I'm going straight. I'm going to miss a couple of days, but I'm going.
Well, that's great. I'm glad you're going to be there. It's so much fun.
So, how did this come about as far as you talking with Lance? Was that your idea, Lance's idea, Stan's idea?
I got the call, and they asked me to put it together, and it was an absolute pleasure. Mm-hmm. And then there was the prep and all of that went into it, prep calls with Lance, prep calls with the team of Magic Live, and figure out what is the idea. And really what I wanted to do with it was, we all know lots of great show business stories from Lance, great career stories, and I wanted to hear him talk about his magic, the actual repertoire and technique.
Different perspective.
Exactly.
I like that.
To focus on that. And it was really, I think, very illuminating and fun for everyone, yeah.
So did you prepare a lot of the questions, or did they give something to you saying, this, or basically, okay?
No, I definitely had free reign to put it together however I liked. And what happened is, in advance, I had a few calls with Lance and then went through and said, okay, these are the nuggets of information I want to get to. How, in the live interview, can we end up landing on those spots? And so,
what I liked also was the fact that he was doing most of the talking. It's kind of like within my podcast, I do way too much talking. I want my guests to talk, and you did that very well, in which you let Lance be Lance.
I really wanted to frame him and highlight him and for his expertise and artistry, and just basically be there to allow him to be spotlit.
Yeah. Now, have you seen the close-up show?
Yes, I loved the close-up show. It was first of all, the set's unbelievable.
Have you did you ever go to Dean Dill's?
I never got to Dean's. That was, I never got there. So to go in there, the intro, you're waiting in line, and Mike Caveney comes on the screen and says, here's the way the seating's going to work. And I felt like we were in Universal Studios right before you go in, right? And then we're walking in, and my friends and I start talking to each other about what is this going to be? Because he gives you a little bit of information about this is a place that doesn't exist anymore. What could that be? And we turn the corner, and we go, of course. And it was amazing to see that. And I really, hats off to the whole team that puts it together, because it really felt like a show.
I felt like it was nostalgia for me because I've had my hair cut there.
Oh, great.
Dean's cut my hair. And when people go to the castle and you work, it's kind of like, hey, you need to go over, and it's like, well, of course. And I did, and it was really cool. Anywho, the point was I liked the interaction in which that it seemed like the real place where people just stopping by, coming in the door, saying, hey, what's going on? Let me show you something I'm working on.
Absolutely. And it was great performers who were able to take that idea and run with it. So it was really enjoyable. I loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, the fellow who had done the Matrix was just absolutely beautiful. He'd done that, I think it was at Quebec or was it the FISM this last year, but he was, I think, a FISM winner then too.
So talented. And I also saw the Danny Doherty show. That was great.
I've not yet seen that. That's on my list. I think tonight I get to see that. I've heard that is nothing but just off the wall, crazy great.
Big surprise. Danny's really good. Yeah. Whoa.
Really?
Real left field.
Danny who?
Yeah, exactly. So it's amazing to watch him work that room, and it's what really got me as someone that I remember the first time I saw him, I was a kid in magic. I had no idea how anything was happening, and I've studied his work since then. Mm-hmm. And it's amazing to see, even if you know because you studied his work, how one of his methods works, it's still invisible. Not just the physical technique, but the psychological technique that you can't see it happening is really something amazing about his work, yeah.
Right. Now, we've had the afternoon sessions. Well, you've got the different colored lanyards, so
yes.
You're seeing the focus sessions in the mornings. Anything yesterday or today that you saw that was outstanding?
I'm looking forward to tomorrow's focus sessions because they have that close-up clinic they always do.
Yes, right.
With lots of little tables around, and that's always undeniably my favorite focus session every year is that because there's just so much variety, and I like getting exposed to something I wouldn't typically have attended myself. Whereas the other focus sessions, you're making a decision. You go, I like the subject, I'm going to go study it. That one, it just becomes available to you by walking through the room. I never would have signed up for a workshop on Fast and Loose, but now here I am, and now you get exposed. And you go, this is really great.
Yeah.
Maybe a name that I've never heard of before, who I wouldn't go to their focus session because I don't know them, and then I see their work, and I'm like, this is really great.
Wow, you're blown away.
Yeah, so I really always look forward to that one as far as focus
Speaking of
sessions.
which, in case you don't know that Howard Hamburg is here.
Yes.
And he's hanging out over in the bicycle hospitality room.
Isn't that such a gift for everybody? You know, this amazing talent. Howard's just the nicest guy. And
so he's just basically holding court in there. I mean, anybody can go by and visit with him.
Just like the castle.
Exactly.
You go to the
right.
castle, there's Howard hanging out, holding court. It's always a treat to see him.
Yeah. Well, it's good seeing you always, Alex. And so your next convention, you're going to do something else this year?
I don't have anything planned this year, but, as far as magic conventions go.
Magic, I mean.
But be on the lookout. There's a project that has been confirmed but not announced yet. That is a for the public book project that I'm working on. And that should be in the works this coming year. And so be on the lookout for that.
We'll do that. Thanks very much. So with the Magic Word Podcast, that was Alex Boyce with Scotty Allen. We mentioned also about how different people have, I should say, there are two groups. One group having the yellow lanyard, another one with the turquoise lanyard. And so you're not always seeing people outside of your group. Well, I'm seeing somebody now outside my group, and that's my good friend Kyle Purnell. Hello, Kyle.
Hey, Scott. How are you?
I'm fantastic, and I wanted to get a younger person's perspective. It seems like all I've been talking to are people closer to my age. So I wanted to hear kind of like when you were going to, and being not only a dealer, but a creator of things.
Yeah.
What have you seen in the dealer's room, or what have you enjoyed here?
Yeah, so I saw a lot of really cool stuff. The thing I just picked up was from the Bradley Morgan's Morgan Magic Lab, and it's the teapot thing. It's the Aikido box, but it's in a teapot. But it makes sense because when you apparently pour out the coins, like they can see the metal liquid pouring out into your hand, and then you show the 4 coins. It's really cool.
Yeah,
I really love it. And I also loved the thing from the Henry Harris stand, the deck to wallet. That was really cool. And I got the whole Nicholas Lawrence bundle too. He's just got a lot of fun stuff to play with. Mm-hmm. So I got that because I like to support independent operations that are doing where you don't necessarily have a huge team of things. I love the work that they're doing. I want to make sure I support them.
And so, what about the other sessions? Like you saw the general sessions in the afternoon.
Yeah.
So what do you think?
I didn't see this one, but I did see the one yesterday where there's a lot of cool stuff. where Josh J was doing his thing on that brought a tear to my eye, to be honest with you. It was really, really beautiful. And in the morning sessions, yesterday I did Lloyd Barnes's one. That was really cool. I really loved that. That was a really solid lecture. And the other one was this morning. I went to the Blake Voigt one where he did like the live podcast thing.
Yeah, he and Daniel Garcia were kind of doing things together.
He got different people for each
one.
one.
Oh, he did, because one I saw was with Danny.
Yeah,
okay.
For me, it was with Larry Fong, the cinematographer.
Sure.
So it was really cool. And I love, because I'm already like I watched the podcast when he does it with people, and so it was really cool to see.
I'm unaware with the podcast. What does he do?
So it's called Inventing Magic, and each episode is 1 hour long, and his challenge is to bring somebody on the podcast and to invent a magic trick that will be written up in Genie magazine. And they have 1 hour to work together to make a really cool magic trick.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
I have to check that out myself.
Yeah, it's very cool.
And so last night we saw the Comedy Magic Show.
I did not.
You did not see that either.
No. Yes. When I go to these conventions, like I'll go to a few things, but
are you sessioning most of the time?
I love sessioning and just meeting new people, networking, meeting up with old friends, and jamming with people. That's more my speed.
Well, that's why I wanted to talk with you, because most of the people my age are kind of going to all these other kinds of things.
Right, sure.
So.
I'm not, I'll go to the ones I really, really want to go to, but it's not hard for my magic show cup, my proverbial cup, to be full. So I'll go to one thing, I'll be like, that was nice, and now I just want to hang out and jam magic with people. Mm-hmm. And that's the way I get the most value out of my conventions most of the time.
Do you feel like you were then inspired to go back and create new magic as a result of this?
Absolutely. 100%. Maybe not in a specific, tangible way right now, but I'm excited to go back, and it's kind of like a new lease on magic life. Is perhaps a way to say that.
Because you get burned out from time to time?
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, it's my profession now, right? So, so
you're not doing the English or in
speech therapy.
Speech therapy?
No, I quit my job in February. I'm full-time magic now.
Ah, okay. I did not know that.
Yeah.
So what are you doing? Working in restaurants? Or?
So mostly in the corporate sector, weddings, a lot of house parties. And then on the side, just always coming up with new ideas and working with companies to bring some new cool stuff out.
Yeah. Have you gone out on a lecture tour or anything? Or
I've done a mini lecture tour a few years ago, but I've not done an official lecture tour yet.
Okay, you need to talk to me.
That's what I hear. That's what I hear. Yeah. Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to put you around next year, maybe. Say maybe next year, whenever it's going to be good for you, certainly. Now, I'll see you at Tricks, I guess, with Scott Robinson's, because that's always a good one.
Yeah, we're going to Tricks.
That's a session thing.
Yes, we're going to that one. And the next one I'm booked to work is, I don't know if you're going to be there, but the Brent Braun one, the B Magic. So I'm going to be there. That's in New Albany, in Indiana. And so I'm working that one with, Brent Braun is going to be there. Dustin Tavella, who won America's Got Talent, he's one of the headliners there. Caleb Wiles, Kayla Drescher, Tyler Wilson, and so we're all doing our lectures there, and it's more just like a gathering and jamming kind of thing. So I'm very excited about that one too.
Is that a fairly new convention? I'm unaware of that
it's
one.
The first one.
Oh,
it's the first one. Yeah. So and
what's the date?
It's later this month, August 22nd, I believe, is when it starts.
Okay.
It's
called the B convention.
B Magic.
B like Brent.
Yeah, B as in B-E, like you need to be magic. Like,
I see.
Yeah, be magic, and it's nice because it's not his big thing is he didn't want a dealer hall, he didn't want people to not come because they couldn't afford it. So it's a pay what you can afford.
So it's kind of like a Pebble Palooza, kind of a thing. Or?
Perhaps I've never been to Pebble.
Ever been to Pebble?
No, I've never been to Pebble.
I'm surprised.
Yeah,
you'd be perfect at Pebble.
I'm sure I would love it. Yeah, I've just never been. But it's this kind of thing where you can pay what you can afford. So even if it's nothing, he still wants you there.
Yeah,
which is really cool.
Very nice. Well, good luck in your endeavors and what you're working with. I'm glad you're enjoying the convention from a different perspective. As I said, kind of a younger perspective
sure.
right now. So always good seeing you then, Kyle.
Very good to see you too.
So with the Magic Word Podcast, that was Kyle Purnell. Scotty out. So one of the other people who we just went from a person who has a younger perspective to someone who is closer to my age. He's not as old as me. No one's old as me. I've got Mickey Silver with me right now. He's as old as Silver. How about that? Hi-yo.
Hi, how you doing, everybody? How's it going? This is pretty cool here. It's,
And so what have you been thinking about the convention? You enjoyed it? You go to Magic Live a lot.
I do.
So
I go every year.
Yeah.
Yes.
So your perspective of not necessarily putting this in... I mean, they all are different one from another, but do you have a particular memory from either this one or a previous one or something?
Absolutely,
It's like, wow, this...
right.
Okay, what?
Absolutely. I like it so far. I'm on day 2, and it's going really well. I meet a lot of people, a lot of friends that I see repeatedly from over the time, and that's the best part about it, okay, that I think. And I only live 4 miles from here, so to me it's very simple to get here back and forth. I don't stay here, but the conventions are good. The talent's great here. People are a lot of fun. You know what I mean? A lot of fun.
Yeah.
I got to say that, and I've heard no complaints from anybody. I mean, the dealer's room is what you want. I mean, the dealer's room. Some people complain about the dealer's room. Some people
What do they complain about? What's there to complain about?
People telling me there's not certain things. Everything's electronic now, but I said you got to look. You got to keep looking. Take your time at each table. Look, and ask questions.
Yeah.
You know, really.
Right.
It's fun. It's really fun. You know.
Have you bought anything?
I did. I bought a lot of things.
What did you get?
I bought coin holders, secretly coin holders, magnetic coin holders.
Okay.
But I won't tell no one. Okay. No, and I did. I bought a few, all coin apparatus. And I bought a few good mats. You know, mats.
Yeah.
And no,
Yeah,
it's
from
really
Pat.
good. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's really going good, Scott. I love it. And I was glad to see you. You're one of the first guys I saw when I got here.
Yeah,
You walked in.
ditto. I was going to say you're one of the first people that I saw then over there then too. Have you seen the close-up show last evening? Yet?
Not yet. I see it tonight.
You see it tonight?
Mine's tonight.
Not going to tell you anything other than you'll enjoy
I love
it.
the Dean Dill display.
Okay. Well, we can talk about that.
I was going to say
Yeah.
secret. I wouldn't-
Because this will be
I
the
didn't
one
tell
out
no.
afterwards.
Yeah, that was fantastic. I've been to Dean shop, and Dean was a friend of mine. Okay.
Yep.
Before he had passed away, and it was great. I tell you, I couldn't believe it. They did that so
perfect.
Yeah, Paul Wilson did a great job. They all did.
Yeah.
Everyone. David
Yeah.
Regal.
And they had some original material. I mean, it's original
I couldn't
barber
believe it.
shear and all that.
Yes, that David Copperfield donated for the time
Right.
being. Yeah, it was
Right.
great. Have you seen that yet?
I did see it. I saw
Okay,
it last
good.
night.
Great.
And Dean's cut my hair. I've been there.
Oh, okay, good. Oh, did you
So
know more
I
than
know.
me? That was one of my favorite things of the
It
whole
was very
convention.
nostalgic.
I really loved it. Oh, I loved it.
Yeah.
It was really.
And how about Danny Ortiz?
Haven't seen him yet.
I'm
I see
seeing him
tonight.
tonight.
Tonight?
Same
yeah,
thing.
tonight.
Yep.
Yeah, tonight.
Yeah.
I see him tonight. I can't wait.
And then, but last evening's show had the comedy show that had Harrison Greenbaum. Did you see
That
the
was
show?
funny. Yeah. a lot of laughs.
Yeah.
People were laughing. Very funny. Hysterical. You know, his jokes. You know,
Yeah.
it's good. Very good. You know, it's a lot of fun. I was tired last night. I was tired. A lot of running around, walking around. You know that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. You know how conventions are. You know.
So have you seen a lot of people here that have kind of come up? And
Many people come up to me and say, Mickey, Mickey Silver. Yeah, I've heard about you for years. Can you show me something? So I must have did about 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 magic shows for people. I'm saying one day. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh, my God. But it's all right. I love it.
Yeah.
I love my fans, people. Yeah. And, you know, when they hear, they know it's me.
yeah,
They know it's me, Scott. You know what I mean? Yeah, they all do.
yeah,
Yeah, it's really
Yeah.
fun. And looking forward to meeting a lot of people tonight. Although the last 2 nights I went home early. I was just so tired. I'm as old as you. I think I'm older than you. No, I'm not telling my age.
I'm 75.
Oh, you look great. You're
Thank
75?
you. 75.
I thought
I'll be
you were
75 in
younger.
November.
Well, today, my birthday's this month, next week, actually, and I'll be 68.
Okay.
But I thought I was older
look
than
great.
you.
Thank
look
you.
great, yeah. Really having a lot of fun.
Thank you. Well, yeah, really, like with you, then, Mickey, the friends keep you young.
Yeah, I
You know?
agree. You know so many people, I know that. Everybody I know knows you. Everybody, yeah. This guy here, who was that? He saw you. He said your name, you know you were right away. They all know you. Yeah. It's a lot of
But it's a lot of fun, a lot of good convention, and Stan always does a good job, and they always...
Stan does a great job.
Yeah.
Very good job. I'm really proud of it. I'm telling you. Every year. It's like it's the type of thing you cannot want to. You have to go to it. You know what I mean? How could you not go? You know? I know it's expensive, but it's well worth it.
It is,
really is.
but it is fun and something that is memorable, and it's one of those things that's well worth it. And as he always says, the hotel is cheap, so if you kind of look at the overall
That's right. Overall,
cost,
overall.
yeah, because if you go to other conventions, the registration is cheaper, but it costs you more for the hotel.
Want to hear a good one? No names. You love to hear one. A friend of mine comes by. Hold on. He don't even live here. He lives in California. He comes by here just to go around the lounge and see people. He said he couldn't afford a ticket, but he loses $1,500 playing blackjack and roulette. And I saw it. And I go, and here you are, no names. And I go, and here you are complaining about buying a ticket for Magic Live. And he lost $1,500 last night. That's the truth.
Yeah.
I'm like, are you kidding? We're all laughing. Me and my buddy's like, are you kidding me? So so that's
priorities.
That's how affordable it really is when you think about it that way.
Yeah, that's a very good point.
In Vegas.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Mickey, thanks a lot. It's always good seeing you.
Seeing you. Yeah, I'll highlight on my convention too.
Thank you. So the Magic Word Podcast. That was Mickey Silver, Scotty Allen. Well, as I kind of go around, I'm just chatting with some other people who have seen some of the shows also, and now I'm with someone's got a yellow lanyard and a turquoise lanyard, so you guys have got seen all the worlds. And I've got Scott Tokar, who you enjoyed this podcast this last week.
That was so great being on. So many people have stopped me and asked me, and I keep going, you got to go listen to all the episodes. They're all so great.
Thank you. And you've been telling Frank to do that, too. And yes. I got with him and Frank Thurston. Hi, Frank.
Yes, hi, how are you?
We've just met, and so it's a real pleasure to make your acquaintance. And
thank you.
Scott had worked together, and that's kind of how you...
Oh, yeah, we've been friends for many, many, many years.
I don't think we've ever worked together.
Actually we haven't, but we've been friends.
Frank works fairs, and Scott works trade shows, so it's like two different worlds.
Yeah. Very different. Very different. And we've known each other through the magic world. We met each other at the SAM convention here in Las Vegas.
In Vegas, yes.
We're thinking about 1986-ish.
Had to have been. We weren't even 21. We were under 21, yeah.
So this is the friends that you become at a convention.
Yeah.
You
how
meet people.
They last.
How, yes. And we were recounting seeing Chuck Jones and Company on that bill, and that Stacy, Chuck's daughter, was in the show, and as two young stallions that we were,
oh my gosh,
just looking at how beautiful Stacy was on stage,
babe, absolutely,
and they were doing geometric,
yeah, the tubes through cabinet. And Chuck came out and brought this strange contraption on stage and said, and now we're going to do a trick that we like to call the cookie cutter.
Well, why do you call it the cookie cutter? Because these shapes, they're like cookie cutter shapes.
Right.
And he says to his lovely assistant, his daughter, he says, and what did you say your name is? And she says, my name is Cookie. We laughed so hard. We thought it was, as being so enamored of how beautiful she is, and for this corny joke to be in there.
Corny joke.
It became our running gag.
It did. For years. And we still to this day, we just can say,
Stacey,
my name is Cookie.
If you are listening to this podcast, we loved you then, we love you now.
Love you now, yeah.
And we want to see geometric again.
Oh, wouldn't that be great? Oh, yeah, that would be awesome.
What a memory. This is the reason you come to conventions.
Yes.
You see friends. I see Scott here. Years we bumped into each other here.
Right.
And this is why you should come to magic conventions and make these kind of lifelong friends here.
And that was what this particular convention is about, is connections and intersections and people making reconnections and everything.
Absolutely.
And that's exactly what you guys have found many years ago and continue with that relationship. And there are so many people who I know come to this only to see each other once a year.
Frank lives in Bakersfield. I live in South Orange County. That's a 5-hour drive or something. 4 hours.
That long, but it's at least 3 hours.
Yeah, it's a long drive.
It's still a long drive.
You ever work at Ron Saylor's place?
You know what? Ron and I are good friends. We both, of course, live in Bakersfield. I have never done celebrities. He's asked me, but I've never done it.
I've done it.
I've
done it. We need to go ask Ron if we can be on the same bill. Then finally we could do it.
That would be interesting.
And then get Cookie to come.
Oh, Stacy!
Let's do it, Stacy.
Oh my gosh, we got a whole show.
We will find a geometric illusion. Stacy, please come.
That would be classic. So classic.
Yeah. Well, have you enjoyed this convention?
Yes, of course.
So you're wearing like a turquoise lanyard, so you're on a different one than yellow than what Scott and I are. So.
Yeah, I've been to every Magic Live with the exception of the very first one. That's the only one I missed.
Same for me.
Yep.
Same for me.
Because it was during fair season,
yeah.
And I was performing. I was out on the road, and who knew what Magic Live was going to be back then when they first announced it? I'm like, I got to work. I can't make it, and so I missed it. And then, of course, everybody said, "Wow,
the word got out
missed."
there was great.
Yeah. Well, what's a memory of one of the outstanding ones that you have seen here?
Oh, one of my favorites was very early on. It might even be the very first Magic Live I went to, when they took us on the real live experiences.
I was going to say the same thing.
Oh, yeah.
Because Tim Conover...
Tim Conover did the trade show portion.
Thing.
Yes.
Paul Gardner and
Yes.
So allow me to say that Tim Conover's presentation there.
Yes.
I was booking Tim for corporate effects for our trade show group, and I have seen Tim many times.
Sure.
We'd work the same trade show, and I would walk up to the booth and he'd have a crowd and I'd watch this thing, and he would do this crystal ball birth date.
Okay.
January, February, March, April, May, June, July. And I was absolutely fooled. I had no idea. And I walked into the room as one of the very first people, and I finally saw his pre-show.
Really?
It ruined it for me.
Oh.
Because I finally figured out how his trick worked. Okay. But that was the most magical thing.
Oh, yeah.
So
they had
what they did.
They had the trade show setting. They had a nightclub setting. They had a parlor setting. I mean,
and a restaurant. Was that when Doc Eason was in?
Restaurant, yeah. And you would go to each set.
Was there, Doc?
They had special sets made that would duplicate a real world magic experience in one of those environments. Yeah. Exactly. That was
the other one was the Magic in the Dark.
I remember
that was different. We had to feel things in the box they gave you.
Yeah. They gave you a blindfold, and you weren't allowed to see. I would have to say that now my third favorite would be our close-up experience. So I can't really tell you because there's still people going to have this.
Yes,
I haven't seen it yet. You mean right now?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen it yet. I see it tonight.
Okay, I can't tell you about it.
Don't spoil it for me, Scott.
It is up there with one of my tops.
Wow,
it was very nostalgic and brought tears to my eyes.
Oh, yeah,
man, you guys see now I'm salivating.
Go put your fingers in your ears and la la la, and we'll talk about it
Okay, go ahead.
Oh man,
that was really good.
So Griffin, I've seen Griffin do Explosion a bunch of times, and for him to do it, Griffin Berry, who was in Dean's shop all the time, and he was a junior at the Magic Castle,
like in a teenager.
Yeah, he's a junior at the Magic Castle, and so I was surprised to see him walk out. I knew if you put Dean's, you had to have Griffin Berry in there
because he was there all the time.
Oh, all the time. Yeah. What a special time that was. And
it was. I like
set.
just the way that I felt like it was the way that it was back then. In other words, it wasn't a show. People were just kind of coming in. Hey, I brought something with me in a sack. David Riggles today. I've got this or whatever. And then they went through the Dean's box and all that kind of stuff.
Great. Hey, we should let Frank take his
come back. Okay,
fingers out of his, and then the trash can exploded.
Oh yeah. Okay,
and
here we go.
No.
All right, I'm going to listen to this later on.
Pixies came out. Yeah.
All of the aliens left over from David's show jumped out of the trash can.
They had to go somewhere. So
that's right. Well, I'm getting ready to go have dinner. It's about that time, and hope you guys enjoy the rest of the convention.
Absolutely.
And, I'm going to see. I think we're seeing Danny.
We got a magic word for you.
So what is that?
Friendship. That's the magic word.
There it is.
Here at Magic Conventions.
That's a good one.
That's my name is Cookie.
So for the Magic Word Podcast, that was Scott Tokar and Frank Thurston. Scott here. One of the first booths I went by on the opening night, on Sunday night, was the Genie booth. And also, earlier that day, I got a chance then to see the movie, and I was sitting next to this gentleman who was the editor of the Magic Circular. Now he's the editor of Genie Magazine.
I've had an upgrade.
My friend. That's right. Will Howson. Hey, Will, how are you, sir?
Very, very good. And it's because you have such good taste, you know where to go first at these things.
That's right. I do, and I just follow you around. I figured if you're there, it's got to be good. So, how have you enjoyed the convention? How's it been for you?
Yeah, it's great fun. It's really exciting. I've never been to a Magic Live before.
Right, this is your first
time.
And
I guess there's a whole load of buzz about it, and you hear lots of people talking about it. So
now you know why.
It's exciting to be here, so I can have a look around.
And so in the dealer's room, had you ever, well, of course you've been to Blackpool all the time, but I mean, have you ever seen anything quite like that? The way that they have the flow of all the traffic and the booths always have something new, and it seems like you have a lot of wide open spaces, whereas it seems like there's not a lot of room, at Blackpool there.
Right, it feels like a sort of really well-designed, mid-sized dealer's room, I would say. Like Blackpool or someone like that, you've got far, far more dealers, but it's sometimes a little harder to get around people.
Sure.
Here, I guess there's a little bit less selection, but it's much easier to get around. Like Tannen seemed to have built a whole shop in the dealer's room,
Right.
which is wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I guess it's whether you want like the quantity or whether you want the quality of the experience.
Yeah, there's
or
quite an experience.
It's a taste thing. But
Yes. Did you, by the way, get to see then the close-up show already last
I
night?
have not seen the close-up
You've not
show
seen
yet.
it
No.
yet? You're going to see it later tonight?
I hope to see it later tonight. Yes. It
Not
depends
gonna-
how long you talk to me for.
I'm not going to
but-
give it away. Yep, I'm going to shut up here and let you go because I need to make sure you get in line to go see it because it was one of the more incredible things. However, I just came from seeing Danny D'Ortiz, and I agree with so many people who have said that really has been a highlight. You saw Danny's show, I guess.
Right, I haven't, no.
You haven't seen that one yet
I
either?
haven't seen that either.
Okay, then.
I've done a whole load of saying hi to people and not a whole load of going to everything that I could go to.
Okay. Well, you haven't.
But I saw Lloyd Barnes do his talk,
Yes.
which was great. One of the
From Wales,
like
yeah.
the lectures where you can choose which bit you go to,
Right.
with some really clever card magic, like really good, interesting thinking ahead, planning around the way the method and the effect interact with one another.
Right.
And then also some really great stuff repurposing like 19th century card gaffs for very modern,
Right.
contemporary fun effects. So
Right.
that was great. I also saw Blake Voigt doing Inventing Magic, his podcast live thing,
Yeah.
which I'm biased towards because we have a version of this in Genie each month. But I've not seen Blake sort of stand in front of a room full of people and talk for a while before.
And he has different people who was doing
He's great.
that, apparently.
He was lovely.
When
Like-
I was there, it was Danny Garcia. I don't know who.
Okay, I saw John Vanderput, a.k.a.
Okay,
Piff the Magic
Piff,
Dragon.
yeah.
And Blake was great, just like so lovely and warm and
Right.
charming and kind and like steered things and drove things along, but in a low-key way. And yeah, just really nice to see someone good, comfortable, solid.
So this
stuff.
is your first one. Do you think you're going to come back again next year? I guess, as the editor of Genie, you kind of almost are obligated to come back next year. But
As long as I don't get fired, hopefully I'll come back next year. But
I think Randy's happy.
Everyone needs to subscribe to Genie. The numbers go up, and then I have a better chance of coming back and hanging out.
So if people want to subscribe, where do they go?
They should go to geniemagic.com.
It's JENII magic.com.
GEN, but yes.
What did I say?
JEN.
Thank you, GEN. GEN. Yeah. Thank you very much, Will. Appreciate it.
Absolute
Always
pleasure.
good. I'm going to let you go. I don't want you to miss the show.
Yeah,
You're going
very
to love
good.
it. So the Magic Word Podcast. That was Will Houston, Scotty out. We are concluding the this third day here, and we just finished. I finished just watching Danny D'Ortiz, and then also came over here to the Creations, or I'm not sure what is this called then, Adams? It's
museum.
Well, it's Impossible Science Museum of sorts. And I got with me right now one of the dealers who was from the dealer's room. I haven't had a chance to talk with many of them, and that's Adam Blumenthal. Hey there, Adam.
Hi,
Tannen,
Scott. How
sorry.
are you? That's right, from Tannen's. How are you, Scott?
Good, thank you. Now, you guys have been bringing something like every year, towards...
Yeah, we've been coming here since... I've been coming to all of them forever, but we've been coming with a booth since 2010, I think.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And this is one of the only conventions where you display?
Yeah, we have a very large booth. It's 20 by 30, so it's almost as big as the shop.
Right.
And we really take pride in creating an inviting space where it's not just about coming to buy a trick, but come and engage with Tannen's. We have a giant mystery box that you can climb inside of, take a photo in the photo booth. There's photos playing from the history of the shop, from camp,
right.
A giant screen. So we invite people to just come in and hang out in the dealer's booth.
Speaking of the camp, how is Tannen's camp? Now that is already finished for the summer, then, I guess?
Yes, we're the end of June into July. We ended on July 4th, and we had 146 campers from all over the world. And it was really a wonderful week. Guy Hollingworth joined us for a couple of days, and that was a true highlight. I always enjoy when people come to visit.
And you also supplement that with Zoom, people from overseas that can't make it?
We do not.
That was during COVID, I guess.
We did 2 years of Zoom camp.
Okay.
I think what makes Magic Camp so special is the in-person experience, right? We have kids ages 10 to 20 who come and spend 8 days living together, eating together, and it's really the shared experiences that make it a unique learning opportunity.
Right. And you said you had how many then this year?
146.
146. Wow, that's great. And what's the lady's name who is the camp director, the Magic
Terry.
Mama? What's her name, Terry?
Terry.
Yeah. Is she still doing that?
She is.
She probably will do that until she dies, huh? Seems like everybody loves her.
She's wonderful.
Yeah. And so for those who want to send their kids to camp or interested, how would they go about doing that?
Well, registration will actually open in about a week or two for next summer, and I believe camp starts on the 27th next summer, June 27th. I know for sure that it ends on Saturday, July 3rd. So it starts the Saturday before that. I apologize for not remembering the first day. But kids 10 to 20. We have a lot of scholarship opportunity available, so if something feels like a burden, we invite everybody to
You don't want it to
apply
finances.
anyway.
Yeah, hold them back.
Absolutely. Scholarships open up a little bit later in the year, but the information will be active pretty soon.
Does it fill up pretty quickly?
It does. I mean, it doesn't fill up in the fall. I would say April, May. So there's always time to register. But it's been filling quicker and quicker.
You have been behind the booth, and I know that you've been busy back over there, but have you seen any of the other activities or just the evening shows?
Unfortunately, we spend most of our time in the dealer's room. So, again, great opportunity to interact with friends and
everybody comes see you.
Customers. Exactly. People to come to us. It's easy. Yeah. But I don't get to see a lot of the other things going on. So I've enjoyed seeing the museum.
Yeah. The museum right now that Jason Latimer's put on over here is pretty incredible. And the way
his stuff is great. Art of Play with Hal has a booth. These magic berries that change sour to sweet. It's pretty amazing.
Explain that. That's amazing.
Yeah. It's a nutritional supplement. I mean, I'm not sure that you're gaining nutrition, but I guess they're saying that the benefit is that for people who want to eat healthier and don't like, probiotics or something that's tart or bitter, this can temporarily make it sweet. And without adding sugar, there's no sweetener to it.
I guess for diabetics or whatever.
Yeah, possibly. I think they're trying to figure out what that is.
Yeah.
And I think they're inviting magicians to also help brainstorm. Magicians are great at thinking outside the box.
Right.
Thinking of the...
It was pretty amazing. You try some lemon, you bite into it, then you put these berries and chew them up in your mouth.
Yeah.
It tastes the same lemon and it tastes sweeter. Kind of like lemonade almost.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Almost, it tasted like an orange to me. Mike gave me his wonderful posters on display. So there's a bunch of unique experiences here.
Yeah. Well, and then, of course, Joshua J. has his book over there that Through My Eyes, or I forgot what his...
Great photos.
Yeah. And he's got some larger pictures that have been blown up that he's talking about, because he gave a talk the other day during the general session about going around the world and taking these photos, which is pretty amazing. Well, anyhow, it's always good to see you. I'm glad things are going well.
Yeah, you as well.
And Tannen's not planning on moving anytime again soon, or are you? You're going to stay where you are as far as you know?
As far as we know. But, we've had 5 different shops over the history of time.
Yeah.
And this is we're getting close to the longest we've been in any location. So we love it where we are, but you never know.
Yeah. And you also do a show then, is that right? What's it called?
Noah Levine performs a show called Magic After Hours.
Yeah.
Wednesdays and Friday nights. Wednesday at 8. 2 shows on Fridays, 8 and then a late show. And it's a 30-person intimate close-up show, a narrative show, right? It's scripted, telling the story of magic in New York, the history of the shop, and taking you on sort of a narrative tour while performing some really phenomenal sleight of hand and parlor magic.
And if people are coming to New York City, how can they get tickets?
You can get tickets at magicafterhours.com or go to tannins.com and click on the button that says show in the top header.
There are a lot of magic
tickets in advance.
A lot of magic shows to see in New York City. So this is one, that Noah is amazing.
Yeah, he's been doing it almost 10 years.
Yeah.
Sells out all the time. It's a great show.
Adam, thanks again. Appreciate it. Let's start the Magic Word Podcast. That was Adam Blumenthal. Scotty out.